to have a really good mindset, you need to have really good mental models. A mental model is something that's in your brain that essentially will tell you what to do in given situations and how to interpret given situations. Every successful person has created successful mental models that led them to where they're at. And everybody who's fucking up in life, it's the complete opposite. They have the wrong models. So if you're struggling in life, it's because you have a wrong model. That's pretty much it. A lot of people think it's deeper than this, but it's really not. And I'll explain to you. Let me give you an example of one mental model I have that I believe has absolutely changed my life in every domain. Made me more confident, more happy, more money, more everything. It's this model that I can achieve anything that I want. And any doubt that can potentially exist within me is simply resistance of my old identity, not wanting to become the new identity, but it's not me. Boom, that's one model. That model is fucking incredible. You guys should download that onto your brain. From now on, tell yourself, you can achieve anything you want. And if you ever feel doubt, that's not you. That's the old you. That's the version of you that is currently existing, and that's why you're not currently successful or currently at the place you want to be. But that's fine. That's to be expected. The doubt is to be expected because it screams the hardest when you are changing. When you're pushing the boundaries, that's when the doubt will scream the hardest. So you should actually look forward to the doubt. And when it happens, you should be like, cool, this means I'm changing. This means I'm pushing the limits of what it means to be me. Okay, that's one mental model. That has changed my life, and a lot of you need to download that. I'll give you another example. By the way, I'm currently just thinking of them. Another mental model. Let's see. There is no right or wrong. There's only perspective. That's another mental model. You know what's funny? Pretty much all of these models I've made a video about. I could talk about one of these things endlessly. They're really deep. But that's another one. There is no right or wrong. There's only perspective. This one's pretty deep, honestly. And it challenges a lot of everyone's views on society, morality. Now, am I saying you should go around and become Hitler because there's no right or wrong? No. What I am saying is I'm trying to explain human behavior. Because everyone thinks Hitler's a bad guy, but I'm telling you, Hitler didn't think he was a bad guy. Right? Everything's perspective. So from his eyes, he's not. From your eyes, he is. What is right? What is wrong? At the end of the day, right or wrong can only be created through human understanding, human thinking. Now, I'm not here to support Hitler. That's not what I'm doing. We've name dropped him a lot in this video. I'm just using him as an extremely polarizing example. But you know what? We can bring Jesus up. Let's bring the polar opposite, I think, one of them. See, some people, when they hear the word Jesus, they're like, happy. They're like, yes, Jesus. Jesus Christ. I love Jesus Christ, right? Some people think that. And then there's some people that if I say that word, they're going to roll their eyes and be like, oh, another dude who's believed a lie, whatever. Or like a Jewish person, they'll hear that word and it'll mean something else to them. Once again, there's no right or wrong, there's only perspective. See, I'm not here to convince you guys of any perspective. I'm just trying to show you there's perspectives, and that's how the world works. When you're in the army and you have to kill a fucking family in order to kill the opponent, because that happens. Is that right or wrong? What if that opponent was gonna kill your family? Oh, now was it right or wrong? How are you gonna justify killing them just because it's your family? What about their family? Aren't they important too? Aren't we all equal as human beings? There's no right or wrong, there's only perspective. Now, these are extreme examples, but how can this apply practically in your life? Well, you start to question more of the things you've been programmed to believe. Like your family tells you, you have to go to college, you have to get married, you have to settle down at age 30, you have to make a certain amount of money, you have to work as an engineer or a lawyer or a doctor, you have to invest in a 401k, whatever, I don't even fucking know at this point, I forget. Are those things right or wrong? No, there's only perspective. That's their fucking perspective. You can have your own perspective. You don't have to do what your parents tell you to do. You don't have to. You could start a business. You could get married at 40. You could not study in college and just start a business earlier. You could. Am I telling you that's the right path? No. I'm not. I'm just making a point. See, I'm just a messenger. That's how I view myself. Like, I'm just a messenger. I'm just here to wake people the fuck up because everyone is so asleep nowadays. So yeah, that mental model makes you question things more. It makes you less susceptible to societal programming. I'll give you the final example of that mental model, which is, what was it? Oh, cold approach. See, the concept of cold approach and pickup, some people will be like, yo, that's this fucking shit. That's how I met my girlfriend. Some people will be like, yo, that's the shit. That's how I became confident. See, that's what I would say. Some people will say, that doesn't work. That's creepy. Right? Who's right or who's wrong? Here's the irony. Most people have some weird aversion to it. I'll tell you what it is. It's insecurity. And by the way, that's the fucking mindfuck of this all. Whenever someone has a massive aversion to some belief, that's just their insecurity. Yeah, I know. Crazy. That's all it is, though. So you can't take it so personal because they're not trying to attack you. They're defending themselves, which is very different. So that's that mental model. And guys, I have infinite, but the point of this video, even though I spent so much time on that last one, is the way you become successful is you adopt more mental models that are correct, at least. And when I say correct, once again, there's no right or wrong, it's just your perspective. But in this case, it's something aligned to what you want to get out of life. Is the mental models you currently have, because here's the other thing. You have negative ones. You need to identify what are the wrong ways of thinking you currently have, drop them, and pick up the good ones. Pick up the ones that align with your life. That's literally Mindset 101. And if you need help with that, link in my description to apply to work with me one-on-one with your mindset, your dating, and confidence. But with that being said, guys, I gotta go. Have a great day, all right? Peace.